Hey guys, welcome to the Gods Unchained beta with the Professor. All right, it's time for our Monday Mythic meta for the ranked weekend event that ran on May 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. Let's take a look at the results. Okay, we can see 2 players here with 24 wins, almost a perfect weekend, and we have only 3 players with 23 wins. The rest of the top 10 had 22 wins, and we do have a little bit of competition. Again, these are unofficial, so it remains to be seen which of these 3 players gets the MMR rating to finish in 10th place and get the extra prizes. We had several players with 21 wins and 20 wins, so many decks out there that are viable to get 20 wins or more every week. Let's take a closer look at our players and decks. All right, right here we have ETH. Oh wait, never mind, that's not ETH. That's an A for Oros. So we have Oros peaking here with the C2A buff and then quickly crashing with the C2A nerf. So now we have 1 player in the top 20 that played War. We have 2 players in the top 20 that played Deception, 3 players that played Magic, 4 players each that played Nature and Death, and the most popular god right now, with 6 players representing in the top 20, is Light. In our top 10, Magic took 1st place and 4th place, Death took 2nd place and 3rd place, the Lone War player took 5th place, Deception took 6th and 10th place, and Light took 7th and 9th place. So an even spread of all 6 gods making a showing in the top 10 there. That's very encouraging. All right, so our top decks here. So our 24 win decks, Magic and Death. We have War with 23 wins, and the best Light, Nature, and Deception decks had 22 wins. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at our top decks. Our 24 win Magic deck is Ramp Magic. We have our standard early strong removal spells with Star Shard Bolt and Tracking Bolt. We have our early strong game plays with Pyramid Warden, Vanguard Axwoman, Shadow Scryer. You have your ramp with Sip of Elixir, Guardian of the Gates, and Well of Power. Mana Toad no longer makes the list. And then we have our basic removal. We have Crystal Rain, Archimedes Mirror, Astric Implosion, Circe, and installing with Demogorgon. And then you have your strong endgame again with Frey, Avatar Magic, Hylian Elite, and Echophon. So not much difference in our ramp magic decks, except the Mana Toad has now been removed. Our top Death deck had 24 wins. This one's Control Board Wipe. We have strong early game plays with Blight Bomb, Pyramid Warden, Vanguard Axwoman. We have Ramp. We have card draws with Vrock. And then we have lots of removal. We have Amazon Heart Eater, Reap, Neferu, Black Blood Blast, Apocalypse Now, End Times. You have strong mid-game cards like Demogorgon. And then you want to get into your late game to play your Hylian Elite, Tiet, and even a Trial of the Underworld to bring back some of your strong cards like the Minotaur Phalanx, Demogorgon, Hylian Elite, and then Raid's Dead to specifically bring a creature back. We have another Death deck that did very well at 23 wins. This one looks to be a Soulburn aggro version, but plays very much like Control. This one requires skill to pilot, because a lot of times what you're doing is you are burning and using Soulburn in the early turns. You're trying to get to 15 health. At 15 health, that's when your power plays come in. You have your Possessed Acolyte. You're able to draw cards with Dionys. Your Cruel Overseer gets to spawn additional creatures with the 1/1 Implinks. And you can even heal with Deathwatch Curate. And of course, Neferu gets to return to your hand at 15 health if it gets taken off the board. You have plenty of heals to offset all the damage that you're taking with Return to the Cave, Fleshblind, and then you run a Necronomics to either push your health down to 15 and also allow for big swing turns where you have additional 5 mana to play combos like Possessed Acolyte and then Living Container. One thing to note about this deck is there is no Genesis cards in this deck. This one is Core, Welcome, and Trial of the Gods set only. Our top War deck had 23 wins. This one's a Control Onslaught version, similar to what we saw last week when Call to Arms was buff, except this version has taken Call to Arms completely out, but still functions very well, getting 23 wins. You have your early plays to maintain the board and survive. Auric Rush, Tavern Brawler, Enduring Shield, Vanguard Axewoman, Noctvi Pillager, Trojan Battle Mage, and the Viking Longship. You have a win condition with Valka's Axe to give your creatures on the board and in your hand +1/1 or +2/2 depending on what you have on the board. You have Carnage Sweep to go with all the different relics to clear the board if you need it. You have Strength and Numbers at the end of the game to add value to your hand. Then you have Strong Endgame with Hector, Ares Runeblade, and Valka. Our top Deception deck finished with 22 wins. This one's control version that focuses on sleep. So you're using the sleep mechanic to control your opponent and get to the end game. You have sleep cards like Spellbound, Sleep Dart, Obsidian Dagger, additional sleep cards in Elixir of the Panther, Exercise, and then you combo that with Dreamstalker. And if your opponent has a board full of creatures sleeping, you can clear it off with Rapture Dance and a Toast of Peace. One thing to note with the Memory Charm is if you use it on your opponent's creatures and they go to sleep, it gains +2 strength every time you use it. So you can sleep your enemy's creature until it gets to a really high attack. You can then use Anti-Magic Expert to take control of it and attack directly because it gives it God Blitz. Our best light deck had 22 wins. This one's the Genesis Zoo Aggro deck. You have strong early plays with Blind Martyr, Ritual Rod, Olympian Guard. The newly buffed light cards like Devoted Follower and Bright Mage are on the list. And then you have strong cards to follow that up with Highborn Knight, Master of Indulgences, and Canonize. And your finisher is Asterius, giving all your creatures with 2 attack or less +2/+2. A similar light deck that also finished with 22 wins is presented here. However, this one is completely free to play. This is just all core and welcome cards. The hardest card to get will be Asterius, Ritual Rod, and Blind Martyrs, but everything else is welcome and core. It follows the same strategy where you're using your strong early game cards like Blind Martyr, Devoted Follower, Bright Mage, except this one focuses on giving health to your other creatures to maintain control of the board. You have Battlement Luminary, Holy Enchanter, and Shield Bearers and Trial Spirits. All the extra health allows for favorable trades and maintaining control of the board. Our top nature deck had 22 wins, and this one is the Midrange Nature deck. You have your strong early plays with the Marshwalker, Shield Bearer, Black Jaguar, Canopy, Skeleton Heavy, Vanguard Axewoman. You have additional removal with Lightning Strike, Jaguar Staff, and then you're looking to go wide and flood the board with Blade Flies, and strong on-curve creatures with great stats like the Overgrown Rhino at 5/5. One thing about this deck is that when you have the board and multiple creatures, you're generating Favor fast, so that gets a Pious Giant out in play, which can come down on turn 6 as a 9/9 with Ward. All right, so now taking a look at our meta snapshot, we can see that we have a new King of the Hill. Light takes the crown for the best win rate at 53.8%, and also a decent representation at 13% of the players playing Light. Light is almost all green across all the gods, and basically 50% coin flip against War. Death is the second most popular played god at 16%, and also posts a positive win rate of 51.5%. Death has favorable matchups against Nature, Magic, and War, but struggles against Deception and Light. Nature still remains the most popular god at 33%, but also has a positive win rate to justify the usage. And we have our bottom 3 gods here. We have Magic, and War, and Deception. The 2 least played gods are Magic and War. However, Deception, even though having the lowest win rate, is getting some usage at 14.6%. That's because Deception does well against Death, which is the second most popular god at 54.3%. If there was less nature representation and this win rate was better, we could see Deception break out. But as of now, with a third of the meta playing nature, Deception really struggles to break out. All right, so here's our top players again. Very well done. Congratulations, and good luck on your packs when we get them.